soul music. I mean, I think that progressed into me liking the house music. I'm not house music, hip hop, and this sample heavy boom bap era is like my core. That's who I am.
Hmm.
Then hearing that same style of music in classic Chicago house, hearing the gospel style girls singing
Hmm.
on house music. I mean, that's I love that. Like
Hmm.
I just it all started from seeing the Temptations when I was a little kid.
Yeah, the one thing is always captured my, at least in my mind, right, especially with the Chicago house style, right, is that roots that you can tell from that early R&B roots in the music itself, right, and that's always sort of captivating
Yeah,
to me with the Chicago style, right? Um, and when you're able to pay respects to the R&B, Motown, all that stuff, and even to this day, no matter what kind of music you're doing, either if it's hip hop, R&B, or even or house music in general, right? There's something about the melodies from that era that you can't escape from. At least from listening to me.
no, yeah, that's just like no matter what it drives me. Like even now, I finally got my kids into that Motown R&B sound. They love it. Like at first, like this sounds weird because me and my wife are both DJs, so we play a lot of house, deep house, UK garage in the car. So
Hmm.
our kids were brought up on that sound, but
Yeah.
when they hear actual music with instruments, they thought it was weird at first. Like this just sounds weird because
Uh-huh.
they're not you. I mean, when I was younger, I played a violin, so I got to go to symphonies and orchestras, and I do understood that kind of music. But my kids, we don't really get them exposed to that,
Hmm.
so like liking this stuff. So now when I play, oh dad, I like this song. It's like rekindling. I mean, I bet you now they're gonna understand where I want them to understand whereas also where this music came from. Like a lot of the stuff that everybody's singing, even how pop singers still Eureka is like one of their main people go tos. They listen to all these old school R&B singers, Motown singers who had a lot of soul. I
Hmm.
mean, it was crazy. Is all that came from gospel music
Yeah, you think
that
about the
gospel
gospel,
music
even
sound.
like it's fascinating about let's say a gospel choir, right? I can listen to a gospel choir all day because just the energy that a gospel choir
Yeah,
has, right? And that's
I
just like
agree. Yeah,
in music in general too, and seeing if you look back at any roots of music, right? And you think about even even early techno music. Was I was watching? I think I was watching something on Kraftwerk or something like that, and we were talking about how the influence, or I forgot which way, what how the influence on punk gave into that era in England. Coming out from England and yourself, how that scene fed into the music in the 80s and stuff. And you go to Manchester and all that stuff, into the post punk scene, right? And a lot of that, how that fed
yeah,
into house music, especially the stuff that coming out from England and all that stuff, which is always fascinating. And we've talked about it, right? Where a lot of my origin, at least for me growing up, was the Depeche Mode's New Order, also a lot of that Manchester scene. But you trace in that taking back in that sort of post punks area, a lot of the dance music came out of that area too during that period of time, which is very
yeah, it did.
fascinating.
It definitely did. I would wonder. I remember back in the day when we were partying, one of my homies put on. This is like the Sunday after the party. Homie put on a movie about that post-punk techno
Hacienda,
UK. I think that's what it was.
the
And these
Hacienda.
guys were literally, yeah, partying. Then all of a sudden they were making techno, like dark techno, and
Yeah, it was like coming
boom,
out
boom.
like factory, was it Factory Records? Yeah, Factory Records. Like New Order had a piece.
Sure,
Yeah, New Order. The guys from New Order had a piece into that, the Hacienda.
it's
So.
crazy to think like that. How their music, I mean, American classic house, that Chicago house sound came from.
Mhm.
Sound came from that post-punk grunge sound,
Yeah,
and just went electric. It's like,
yeah, because I never realized it until I was like literally I was watching a documentary about it, about the Hacienda and Factory Records and stuff, and they kind of went beforehand. It's because the guys, like for example, the guys from like New Order and stuff were in New York out there touring, but they're hanging out at the clubs, right? And they brought a lot what they saw from the clubs out here in the States and brought it to England, right? So it just blew up so fast, even though it was kind of isolated in, like in the Chicago area and
Yep.
stuff, Chicago and Detroit. But when it took off in the '80s out there, it just like caught like wildfire, right? And you look at it was very, I forgot what the name of the documentary was, but it was interesting because they were talking about how, a lot of the youth, I think it was a lot because there was a lot of unemployment and stuff. There was a lot, during Margaret Thatcher Day and stuff, and the economy in England was really bad. So you got a lot of this. You had a lot of youth that were very disenfranchised with with the system and everything else, and they had gravitated towards the music, right? I mean, even today's youth, right, how they gravitate certain types of music and all that stuff. But yeah, it's fat that whole piece of how it ended up over there and blowing up, then coming back over here. And that was just like nowadays, it's just funny how that
Yeah.
how that happened.
Yeah, how it transfers, like it picks up a little bit of the spice from there, then it gets transferred back with that spice, and we throw our own spice on it, and it's crazy how, like even all genres in electronic music,
Mm-hmm.
like so the Americans will go out to play in the UK, and they'll learn that style and their sound of UK house and UK techno,
Yeah.
UK drum and bass and
Mm-hmm.
grime.
Mm-hmm.
Then they take that seasoning and they bring it back here and they sprinkle it on, then flip it out. Then you got vice versa. The UK guys coming out here, learning how us freaking us Americans do it. Then they take that and sprinkle it on what they do. And it's just been a cross germination between how music sounds. Because nowadays I can't tell who's bass house or bass line, what's UK garage or
Oh yeah, when people start getting into those super subgenre, right? I mean, it's like
yeah,
growing up, and I got a couple years on you, but it's like it was like people didn't call it dance music; they would call, oh, it's techno, right? And that was all it was. It was just called techno, you know.
it was globbed together as techno.
Yeah, right. And how over the years, right? Then it branched out. Okay, then there was trance, right? Then and techno and trance, right? But you can see how even nowadays when you listen to techno and trance now, right? How they're so cross pollinated from those old
Yeah,
beginnings where they came from, right? What kids would think. I always say that if kids would think about techno now, really a lot of that stuff has a lot of early trance feel to it. It's like I would sit there,
yeah,
I vibe to it because it reminds you of that old, really old trance sound. I remember going to clubs in LA early, I don't know, early 90s, I guess how old am I? Early 90s when I was legally can go. So I remember how it was then, right? It was so different because you go to a techno trance club versus at the time when I was in college, and it's mostly all hip hop, R&B and stuff, right? And if people that was sort of mainstream, right? But then if you were going to a club, but you were going to a techno club or a warehouse party and stuff, people would look at you like, "Oh, you're weird,"
yeah,
right?
definitely.
And it's funny now. It's like, oh yeah, everyone.
Yeah,
Oops, I lost some power in my light here. But yeah, it's just funny how that's so much has changed over the years. And you look at the Vegas scene, right? I remember again I would say even early 2000s, really, how you only had again the only real quote unquote I guess modern dance uh club or place to go to was at the Palms, Rain, Perfecto, right? That was the first thing. Um, and you think Oakenfold was so ahead of his time at that period of time to bring it out there. Now it's every other corner in Vegas is that way. Because
yeah,
I think in that period of time at MGM it was still the Club 52 disco thing that was still happening over there at MGM. Then I remember the Lexor had a club there. It was more of a hip hop R&B club. Now it's not. I think now that section is like the esports stuff now actually. Um,
yeah,
and everyone else didn't have anything. They may have a lounge with your Prince cover band or something like that. And that was it.
yeah. Your
Um,
average stage.
and to think about how much money hey, these guys are making money out there, and all respects to them. But it was like, it's amazing how much money is there, because just from, in a short period of time, and really probably 10-12 years, right? How much that changed the culture or changed the scene in Vegas. Because I think in a period of time, it was kind of like, you go out there, Vegas tried to do the family thing, which didn't, obviously they realized not going to make them any money. And, and they switched it back over with the club scene and really marketed all of that. And, even taking a step back, right, you look how, with EDC, right, which started in LA, right, the Coliseum, right, and to where how much it has grown over the years too. Them, LA being stupid and kicking them out was a benefit for them when they move out to Vegas. So, but it's just crazy. I mean, even the dance scene now with, in the last, I think now with this resurgence of house and tech house, really, with, the generation now, 20 to 30, right? Everyone's collecting albums and LPs and EPs and everything else. That's probably so much help the house and tech house scene, because people are buying those old albums or finding them in the bins. And it's like, oh shit, what's this? Right? And it's like, it kind of reintroduced the newer generation to that kind of music now. I think that's what really kind of spawned the, I guess, rejuvenation of the genre.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because I just feel like they came out in the mid 2010s, like from 2014 to 2018, like the big room, the big house, the Mobaton, all this stuff it was catchy, it was cool, but it started pulling away from what electronic music really was. And all of a sudden there was a rebirth, like you were saying, people were finding this old music again and realizing, oh, this is actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of these producers are starting to go back to that sound again. Start keep it simple, stupid. You know what I mean? Because why did it freaking long? It's so hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like dubstep, it gained huge popularity in the past 4 years. But I feel there's only so much you can do with that many wobs in your music.
Yeah, I mean, you
start losing.
You go 3-4 minutes, wall. It's like, okay, it was like, I mean, maybe my bones are too old. I can't move that much anymore.
I read dubstep from the 2012 to 2014.
Yeah.
Before it was like huge dubstep.
Yeah.
It became rhythm, all this crazy stuff. I liked it. But then just like everything else, a lot of people like something, then they overdo it.
Yeah.
But seeing this rebirth of house music come back into the scene with the expansion of what Four to the Floor really is now. And
exactly.
House is tech house, tech house is house, progressive trance is now melodic house, tropical house is still trance.
Yeah.
It's a lot of these kids are taking what was old and trying to make it new, but I'm at the age where I was part of the end of where you were in the underground, and I'm still part of the newer age and see it match back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But it's awesome to see like the whole music come back around, and it's more about just the pure nature of music again.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there's always going to be dubstep, big room and all that kind of stuff. There's a perfect time and place for that.
Yeah.
But just the core values of what house music was before Plur, before all of that. I mean, just the core essence of that soul, like we're talking about with the Temptations and the Motown, and that soul in the music has found its way back again.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a lot of people make great music. I mean, yeah, you see Mala with the crazy mask on, but this dude who looks like he'd rob you and your grandma is making some great house.
Oh yeah,
like real house music.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You can't knock them. Can't knock them.
Yeah, like that's good house. You know what I mean. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to spend the EDC money for a ticket to go see him on a huge stage. I would probably spend the $30 to see him locally, so I can get that house organic sound out of it.
Yeah.
But it's awesome to see that these big forerunners in the game, like Claptone, and these certain guys like that, are bringing that house music sound back. that's what I feel like that's what our scene needed for a rebirth. I
Yeah.
mean, even this quarantine, I feel like promoters, the ones who have that heart and the soul, like the guys you got out there, the guys we got out here, are gonna get back to that essence. And when the floodgates open for us to party again, it's gonna be a new party
Oh
because
yeah,
the soul, the heart, the love's gonna be.
yeah, it's gonna be such a, and again, I'll call it an uplifting experience, right, for folks going out there, and for those who DJs are playing it too, right? Because I think, I think what a lot of people probably experience is like that interaction, right? Seeing a person, you sitting there, not the drunk person trying to ask for a request, but but the
Yeah,
someone just seeing people with this vibe, to see people, straight up just vibing, right? And I think you know that's why I think you see a lot of DJs also streaming, because they miss that feeling, right? Of that interaction, right? So it's like a spontaneous energy. They have to get it out, right? Um, Done great sales for
that's for
webcams
sure.
out there,
Actually,
you know.
oh, really? Well, I buy all my stuff on OfferUp and Let Go, so
Yeah.
I'm giving it to the little man.
So,
But
but
I'm getting a third of the price. Hey,
yeah,
for a tip of you guys out there watching it, a lot of these guys have a lot of us got the good equipment, buy it secondhand, so we can buy twice to three times more of stuff as these guys going to buy the new.
right. I mean, like
That's an insider tip.
my gear is a collection of, oh god, 10 plus years of stuff. I have not. The only thing I've ever thrown. The only thing I've think recently. Oh well, I mean, I sold a set when I was in the band. I quit that band only because I was just kind of like over it. But but I still kept all the keyboards, and I have this chord pad control that I've had forever. This Ableton APC thing I've had forever. I still have a bunch. I had a god, what I had. I had a not a Serato setup. I had a tractor setup too at one point in time. So I still have those controllers buried somewhere in the inside in the studio here too. So I just don't get rid of it. It's actually have it.
Yeah,
Um,
the real one, we're hoarders. Like I'm the same way too. I don't even old computer parts. I don't. They're just piled somewhere around here. We just don't get rid of it.
no,
I guess
you do.
there's an age point where we just don't get rid of it. Like,
My
I
wife
have
does.
a
My wife does
less
give.
than seventh grade P.
Yeah. My wife does give me a little. My
Yeah,
wife does give
right.
me a little shit for it too. I was like, "Are you gonna really need this?" I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's why
"No, but I want it. I want to keep it."
I have a wing to our house basically now. The whole what north south side of our house is for all my junk, aka my business.
Right? I mean, it's like I have like in my garage. I have racks of storage stuff up there, and everything else is like, and I probably have, let me, 4 boxes either of computer parts. What I'm gonna do? I mean, I always say to myself, I took something out of it last week. Once a year, at least I take
Right?
something out of it. I know it's still in good use. Like I have a whole box of this USB cords just sitting in the closet, and it's like just in case. But hey, anyone, someone
Yeah.
comes over, hey,
That's
you
how you
got.
know. That's how you know if you're really into music by how many chords you accumulate and never touch again.
Oh yeah,
If you're a newbie,
you buy more.
shoot boxes. Yeah, and if you the older you get bins,
Oh
and
my
after a
gosh.
while, your bins get categorized and pushed down further. Because I'm staring at wires right now that need to be put away.
Yeah, you
But
you
I
look
guess
under
that's
my
all part
desk.
of the love.
Yeah, underneath in my desk, it's like, yeah, it's not pretty. Then when I grab these gear and stuff, when I'm doing a video live stream out there and stuff, I have a whole gear. I mean, I really need an assistant sometimes. But it's like I have a whole roller case of disc cables, whole roller case of the cameras, whole roller case of all the sound equipment, right? So it's broken down, like, here's the wires, here's the cameras, here's the. It's like, this is insane. It's like, I think I
Yeah,
carry more than when I was DJing. And it's like, you used to just carry, CDs, and that was it. But now it's like, yeah,
yeah.
it's insane.
Three cases and a bag of wires. But now you're a video guy. You got everything, don't you?
Oh my gosh, it's insane. And
Yeah. When I seen you at Pitcher Tent last year, you're literally constantly
Oh, that's
And
right. When I was manning
stuff
the
all
thing.
over.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
dude, like that's how I knew that was you because I didn't see you behind me when I was playing, and I literally look up and you're at the end of the freaking tent,
Uh
and
huh.
you're on the other side. I'm like, damn, it's on it. Then all night too, you're just double checking, making sure you're probably moving more than anybody that was
Oh yeah.
there.
I mean, that was the only way to
Probably
keep.
just as much as Sean.
Yeah, no, that was the way to keep warm too, because I was freezing my ass off.
I'm
I.
surprised how cold it was for
Oh my
June.
gosh. Because I was thinking like, I was like, yeah, just wear shorts. I got a light jacket, right? I didn't. I thought about bringing pants. Just I didn't bring a pair of jeans. I'm like, okay, that was stupid. I had a thin jacket, right, and I was just freezing my rear end off. It was like it was insane, especially the first night. Second night on Friday night, I think Saturday night wasn't as bad, but I think Saturday night I was drinking a lot more too, so I was still kept warm that way. Um, was a steady flow.
Yeah.
But Friday night, because I was moving up and down, checking the cameras, just making sure everything was good for that night and stuff. Um, yeah, that would my Fitbit had a lot of steps that day, just going up and down the stair,
Yeah,
up the ladder and stuff. But
yeah, that's remember you up the ladder, checking everything. Wish
yeah,
I wish they were doing it this year, but can't wait till we can start coming
yeah,
back out.
I don't know too because I was inquiring to some folks if we've heard any updates yet, but I haven't heard any updates yet. Because I think it was
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
second week
I
of
haven't
June
seen it.
was I think it was scheduled for second week of June, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's when it was last year too.
Yeah, so and we're 2 months out. Then I was supposed to I was helping out with Sean C again. Because he was supposed to be Sean's supposed to be the coordinator of everything. So yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't heard anything else too. Then More Base was wanting to come in and work with the team over there too to come in as another sponsor too. So, but yeah, I haven't heard anything yet. So hopefully we'll hear what's going on and stuff. If they do lift
yeah,
things up, yeah, we'll have to see and stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
because we're hoping. Yeah, go ahead.
But I was gonna say I got a big booking in July, opening for Kyle Watson,
Oh, nice.
and I'm just crossing my fingers that that actually still happens. Because
Right.
then
Oh,
all my homies and crews, we all have outdoors sprinkled all summer
yeah.
because we got the mountain. You guys got the desert.
Uh huh.
We got the high desert
Uh huh.
forest parties out here, and it's like there's one of them already dropped money for visuals. Another one I'm supposed to do like visuals and mapping and play. Supposed to play for both of them, but to every freaking year, and it's can't even do that. I'm like,
Yeah, it
I
is
just want
insane.
everything.
It's like I remember what was it? Was the California mayor was saying like, hey, maybe no events in 2021. I was like, and there was another
Yeah,
article too. It was like, I said, I can't imagine everyone, especially us, artists, musicians, and all that stuff, being cooped up to 2021, right? I was like, I don't know if people can
yeah,
survive.
it's so insane.
It's
Well,
yeah.
I think if anything, they might lift it to like 100 people.
Uh huh.
So maybe our desert and forest parties will come back,
Yeah.
but there might be a chance like EDCs, the movements, the Dirty Bird campouts,
Yeah. The
EDC
bigger.
or lab
Yeah, the
will
big
get pushed.
ones, the big mainstream ones already have said no for the rest of this year and stuff. And then I think EDC even pushed out to October. Yeah, Dirty Bird. I haven't heard anything on that stuff.
Yeah, they
Um,
canceled it,
did
but
they?
they didn't ever give another date.
Yeah, then people who did ever heard of Groove Cruise and stuff? They do out of Miami and stuff. Groove Cruise I think got postponed as well. That was another one that a lot of people go to. So especially in a cruise ship. So I don't know. Especially I don't know if everyone's only preparing to going on a cruise. You know.
No, what's crazy is like we're all locked down, but then again, right down in Mexico, they're still having their festivals. Like they're still like,
Yeah, I got a buddy
people.
who spends part of his time down in Mexico and stuff. He says for the most part, there's some stuff closed out and stuff. I was joking with him. He had posted he posted a picture of after going to Costco down there with like three bags of toilet paper. He says, "Well, no toilet paper limit." I said, well, "You can lease in your homie. I'll Zelle you some money. Just send me the picture. Send me a pack, right?" And he says, "Oh, meet me down here at the border." I'm like, I'm not gonna drive. I'm not gonna drive 12-hour round trip to California, that San Diego TJ border for a pack of toilet paper. You know. But
I
I do
mean,
count like how many rolls left in the house.
yeah. See, I'm lucky. My mom works at Target as a stocker in the morning,
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm I'm good on hand soap, Lysol wipes,
Sanitizer.
spray, all that stuff. Everybody's running to get it. I'm just like, Mom, this is the list for this week. But shouts out to my mom.
There we go.
She's like, she hooks it up all the time
There we
when she
go.
can.
Mama, hook it up.
After not living here for 10 years, it's nice to have her back again.
That's good. That's good. So, anyways, so moving on. So, moving on to some questions here and stuff. Your production, your producing and stuff. We're up. I think right before we went on live, we started off early in the evening. We were playing your one of your mixes. Then we were kind of playing some of your remixes and stuff. Tell us a little bit about when you start getting into producing, and sort of your thought process, your workflow, and everything else.
Wow. When I first started a DAW, touched a DAW, it was probably 97, 98. I don't know exactly, but I had just turned 16 and I had my turntables, and one of my buddies introduced me to this dude. He's a youngster too, who was learning engineering and sound at this little tiny studio in Gallup. Then I just took my turntables over there and he used to record my sets for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember one day I went in there and he was messing around on FL2.
Fruit Loop 2.
It was Fruity Loops.
Fruity Loops. Oh yeah, Fruity Loops.
Dude,
Oh
dude,
man.
this is not FL Studio or nothing like that. And that's kind of where I kind of got into it. But I was hip hop back then, so
Yeah.
I was all about making hip hop beats and stuff. I was just trying to be cool. Back then, I wanted to be a battle MC and a battle rapper. I never thought I'd be this far into house and tech house music, bass house music. But that was kind of when I got the bug. I loved it, and I never had my own computer and everything like that. So until I grew older and could find my stuff, I was always wanting that to get back to FL and Fruity Loops and stuff like that. Then once I finally got my own computer, I found that crack and it was on. Went through every freaking sound in the VST, every drum, all the drum kit, drum samples. I mean, I wish to this day, I still wish I had some of those files so I can remix or redo.
Redo them? Yeah, I know how that is.
Because I think about it, like I've lost that computer. I've lost computers. I mean,
yeah, I think I was telling you earlier too. I first started with a Pro Tools setup, and
yeah, you got lucky. That's like the best DAW to get into, because you learn the shortcuts for a really good.
Oh man, but setting up Pro Tools was such a pain in the ass. I mean, it was like the install process. The install process took forever, and I see. And it's funny we're talking about being computer hoarders, right? I still have that. I still have the hard drive for that computer still. So whatever project files are, and this is from the old band, right? So I was basically, that's how I started recording, is because me and the singer would sit there, would just jam out and just made 5-6 songs at night and stuff every time we met up, and just trying to find the sound. So I have all that stuff sitting in the hard drive that's in my garage. I keep on saying, like, let me pull it out and see if I can, bounce the wave, take out the wave files and do something with it for the shit and giggles of it.
Yeah.
Which is probably which I'll probably end up tomorrow going to the garage and try to find that hard drive and do it.
Yeah, that remix just freaking speed up the freaking sample, change it.
Yeah, it was. I'm just thinking some of the stuff, because it was old rock stuff, right? I was like, what can I do with this? Some of the stuff. I was like, huh. But I'm sure I could figure something with it. Yeah. So anyway, I had the Pro Tools. Also, I was messing around with, what's the one that Sony had?
Yeah.
Foundry. I think Sony had a thing called Foundry or something like that. Sony had something for their vial. Anyways, I was messing with that and stuff, but it was so clunky. But anyway, so back to the Pro Tools. So I had Pro Tools for a long time. Kind of messed with Cubase a little bit, but I just never really liked Cubase the way, at least for me, the way it flowed because I was so used to Pro Tools. But when I decided to go switch it up and went to a Mac, I made the attempts to reinstall that Pro Tools and I gave up because it was just too much. So I ended up with Logic for a while too. So I started doing Logic for a good 2 years. So I was doing Logic, and what was cool about Logic was that you can sit there, you can play notes, you'll play a melody, and it would actually write the notes for you.
Yeah.
So I thought that was the cool thing about Logic, but back and forth. But then I was always bouncing. I always had to bounce my files and stuff. My buddy Greg, who I produced with, he at the time was using what was that? Not Fruit Loops. There was another one that out there that during that period of time, early mid 2000. I can't remember what the dollar name was. But anyways, so he switched over to Ableton, right? And he says, "Hey, get onto Ableton. It makes it easier for your project." So you just export the project, or I can just send him the project, and we could work on it, virtually. If we're not able to meet up with each other. So that's how I ended up going with Ableton, because just out of the necessity of it, and haven't looked back really. But it's funny with me is that I have, every time there's an update, I never uninstall the previous version. I always keep every single version of instance of Ableton I've installed for each version. So I got I even have the last 2 builds of Ableton 9 in there. I'm thinking, I don't know how much hard drive space I'm taking, but I have 4 instances of 10 and 2 instances of 9. It makes no sense why, but I just do.
You're a hoarder.
Oh my gosh. So
you're programmed for it. So
right.
yeah, now I'm on FL20. Like I have Ableton too, but like I'm saying, I started FL when I was 16.
Yeah.
And I've worked with it on and off since then. So it's just a creature comfort thing, because I love this. I like the sound drivers better in Ableton. FL users can get mad at me for it. I mean, I'm one, but I do like the sound drivers a lot better in Ableton. But I do like the workaround flow just because it's.
You just used to that work. Yeah, you're just used to that workflow, and that's the thing too. And it's funny. This is a lesson learned to the audience, but I don't follow it. Is organizing your projects. I am notoriously bad. I am notoriously bad, and
you're one of those guys, huh?
Yeah, and in the name, in some of the naming conventions too, I have. It's like, for the most part, I would say I just put a date, and then that's how I end up doing. So I go through a date of, I have to go back and think like what period of time was I playing with this song, doing what, and so on and so on. But then sometimes for some stupid reason, I'll change the title of the bounce track that I listen in the car, because I come up with the name. So I changed the name. Then I go back and forget. It's like, oh shit, what was the original project file? So I'm going through all my projects and remember which one was that I bounced it from. So
I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that.
Yeah. So the organizer shit.
The last 2 tracks I put out on my EPs, I literally forgot, because I named them differently than what the project was, and I had to do the same freaking thing to go back and edit it, because I didn't remember what the first initial name was. After seeing it on the flash drive and seeing it on SoundCloud and emailing it, that's the name you're used to. And trying to find the actual working file to where you built it, it's like, oh crap.
Yeah, there's one I've been recently working on that I sent it off to another buddy to kind of see he can write some guitar parts for it. And if I make it back out to Cali, I was gonna hook up with him, kind of bring my studio. I think the one thing that's cool about my studio is that I can literally make it. It's pretty much mobile now. Another problem in organization is I have 7 different hard drives on my desk, and my all my sounds are across all 4 or 5 drives, and it's it doesn't know where it is. So I still have to make a goal to organize that stuff one day. But so I ended up bringing 5-6 hard drives, wire them all up, turn on. Hopefully I brought the right one. Make sure I didn't forget any of them. And it's like, do I have my VSTs? Okay, good. Um, but yeah, I think that's one thing. Yeah, it's been really great the way I've kind of used to have done the setup and everything else. Yeah, at least my main project files are in this, one of those rugged old lacy hard drives and stuff. So
Yeah.
at least for me, not to plug or get a sponsor. No, Lacy's been my go-to drive for the stuff. I had one Lacy drive that lasted me literally for 10 years. I
Wow.
had to. The only thing that I had to do is replace the power supply in the case. Those died, but the drive stayed alive, and I was having the drive pretty much on 24/7, never shutting it off. Part of it because I was afraid to shut it off. Um, but once I reached the capacity, and again, it was only 500 gigs. So 500 gigs. You go back
Oh,
10 years ago, that was a shitload of drive space.
yeah.
Obviously nowadays that's like one project file sometimes.
For real. One video file.
One video file. Just like I have, with the videos and stuff, even probably 6 months worth of video, bought a terabyte drive. I mean, it's almost I got 50 gigs left. So I'm sure after I bounce this interview, I'll probably have half of that left over and probably have to get something else.
So is that
Um,
your way of telling me to cut this video short?
no, nah. So funny
You're
stuff.
gonna now there's a new term. It's called hard drive hog. It's somebody who talks so long on a freaking interview, they hog all your hard drive.
Right, I was like, oh man, no, I could sit there, yeah, I could sit there and ramble on forever and stuff, but yeah, I mean, I'm terrible with that. All right, let's go to see as I get myself organized here now, as a good
Now
show host.
you're coming up with the checklist of what you need to do when you log off, right?
I gotta bounce this here, move that here, bounce the track, bounce the video, move it into Premiere, edit this stuff, shift the audio because this audio gets a little clinky. Um, but yeah, this is funny stuff. But so, anyways, so moving on to my more serious questions here. Um, Influence, and I know we kind of touched on it a little bit with the Motown, with the R&B influence and stuff. What's some of the other influences have you had musically, either from helping you in your production or just the vibe you feel when you want to perform?
So as of lately, I mean, I've been a huge Box of Cats fan. So a lot of the stuff that Kyle Watson, I'm like, that's why I'm happy. I want that show to go on. This is huge. Like his drums, his bass line, how thick they are. That like I want that thickness and richness when I do my mix downs. I like that. I don't say his music, but I don't want to be jacking someone's music.
Yeah.
But for me, I always look record labels and how they book their artists as far as their sound design goes
Mm-hmm.
and what fits them. And like Boxer Cat is great because they they fit that bass house, tech house, borderline genre that
Mm-hmm.
I like. I when I first started DJing, it was electronic music. I was progressive trance. This is like 2003.
Yeah.
That was like progressive trance to like 2008. Then I somehow switched to electro house,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when it was like Will Bailey electro house and
Okay. Wow.
fidgets type.
Uh-huh.
I was huge. That was me. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could catch me looking like this, my brim all hip hop looking, playing some dirty fidget bass house
Nice.
style.
Uh-huh.
Then all of a sudden, one week I started to go looking for music. Then it was electro house was big room,
Mm-hmm.
but we called electro house. And I got pissed off and I said, I'm done with that genre.
Yeah.
Then I stumbled into UK bassline and UK garage,
Mm-hmm.
like the heavy, the newer stuff.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of influences all over the years from all these little genres that kind of developed who I am as a producer now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Will Baileys and like AC Slater before he was night bass.
Yeah.
And it was like
Mm-hmm.
the simpler electro house bass house sound.
Yeah.
His bass house went straight dubstep bass line
Yeah.
and that kind of threw me off.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's kind of when I went more to the tech house because now tech house is the word I use. Tech house, and I know it is nowhere near Dirty Bird or any of this sound now. but the Dirty Bird sound now does fit my whole track record of bouncy, groovy bass lines.
Yeah, because
So my influence,
they've like morphed into that in the last
yeah,
couple of years.
and it's awesome because that gave me something to hold on to, and which led me to producing the way I do now, the sounds I have now, and I mean, from when I was 16 till now, it took me a long time to figure out who I was as an artist. People get into music production and they ride the wave, and that's what they are. But when the wave's gone, you forget about that artist because they never branched out
Yeah.
and tried something else and
Mm-hmm.
let their who they are as artists progress with the lifestyle of this culture.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful because I used to produce a lot of electro house. Then I would mess around with some bass house stuff, but this sound side
Mm-hmm.
me as this 36, almost 37-year-old guy who still DJs and still produces music. It fits my bouncy house, like bass house, electro house, progressive trance style I used to come from.
Yeah.
And the influences that I have now were like, for a while there was like the Billy Kennys, like the Chris Lakes, um, I mean Afrojacks towards the about
Early.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Jack,
Mm-hmm.
these like the guys who really influenced us, that bouncy bass sound that wasn't super harsh. It was house music, but it was tech house music. It was bass music. That's like my core energy of who I am as an artist and a DJ. That's what I push and I play. I mean, if it's not going to make you dance and isn't funky, then I'm not going to play it. Like I always tell people, there's two undergrounds in my house: underground house music and underground hip hop music,
Mm-hmm.
and that derives in who I am. I mean, even when it comes to producers that aren't electronic music,
Mm-hmm.
my DJ got your DJ premieres that are my favorite, my Ninth Wonders, Jay Dilla, rest in peace. These cats who took that boom bap, what they made it their own music was soul and sprinkled hip hop all over it. That's who I am at my heart.
Mm-hmm.
To who I am on my other heart, which is electronic music, and I try to merge them together. Uh, one of the new tracks, the leading track on my new EP, it's me on the vocals,
Mm-hmm.
and that's me rapping. So that's me merging my hip hop side in with the electronic music side and just letting that marinate into this bass house, tech house sound. That
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people I've shown they love it. So I'm
Yeah,
just gonna keep moving.
I went on to the site and stuff. Listen to the samples that you have on there. I was like, oh, this is. I'm like, damn. I was like, I vibe on this definitely.
Yeah, like so that leading track, all I want, that's 100% me on
Mm-hmm.
that. Except that girl's that little tiny snippet.
Uh huh.
Everything else is all my vocal. I cut it up. I messed around with it. Then the second track, the B side, you would call it, is Timbaland
Mm-hmm.
from his old school saying days and his little vocals, but
Uh
since
huh.
it's under 5 seconds, I can't get caught for using
Hey, you know what?
these.
Hey, that's the copyright rule.
Yep, under 5 seconds and change the octave, and you're golden.
You're
You
good.
take that into account that I do. But so yeah, some of the influences I have now are the guys that push that underground sound mainstream in turn brought house music back. Like we're talking about how house music and tech house music came back.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these guys that are in the forefront of that are the ones I look up to
Mm-hmm.
because they're putting a twist on something I used to love
Mm-hmm.
and making it enjoyable and rocking huge crowds. I mean, some of the biggest shows in the world 5 years ago, you could not get house music on the main stage
Oh, not at
whatsoever.
all. Not at
And
all.
nowadays, these same ones are bringing it back, and you can see that people are dancing now. Nobody's just bouncing up and down
Right?
doing this, where people are
No
actually,
one ever says. Actually, people are moving, not this fist pumping.
yeah, no fist pumping, no. I mean, there's still head bobbing or moshing and head banging, but people are enjoying and dancing and the soulful stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
some of the names, there's more names I can go on and on about, but I not only as influences musically, but influences as them being influencers is my influence.
Mm-hmm.
Because deep down in my heart, I've like, so I started my own stream community out of thin air,
Mm-hmm.
but I get to help people like we were talking about earlier. We always get those questions. Oh, how do I do this? Can you help me with this and help me with that?
Mm-hmm.
And now at my age, because of the influences of my influencers, I can be an influencer. And I'm to the point where I don't influence anymore for the thank you. I influence because I get to see somebody radiate and be radiant on what I taught them.
Yeah,
They
it's
get to
it's
take
yeah, it's like
something.
growing. You're contributing to the I call it the continuous growth of the community.
Yeah, it's nice to see that. Like they can burn me, be jackasses to me later down the road. That I'm just happy that I can help with that step now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all. I mean, like I was saying, I was helping a buddy set up his screen print shop. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I like just to help.
Yeah. So
It's a good feeling. And it's because of my influence.
so in the we're talking about different scenes and stuff. When I came out here to Arizona, right, it was like I probably knew one person, at least in the music scene, one person out here. I met one of the session guys, Derek from Sessioning, early on. He's probably one of the first guys I've met. So Derek and the Sessioning guys, they're fucking good guys. So they were one of the first guys I met when I first came out here. Then when I just started, like probably last year or so, let me make a conscious effort just meet people, right? And obviously
Yeah.
one of the first people I met was Sean. So and funny as I was telling Sean the other day too, I was like, I've met so many people through him, it's insane. It's like I can't keep track sometimes. More
Well,
people know of me than I know of them. Like, oh hi. So yeah, I know you from. Like, oh okay, thanks. And
I
it's
didn't realize who I was because I met him because somebody was referring graphic designers
uh-huh.
in my day. No, I forgot where I seen him. Somebody was saying someone was asking for a graphic designer. Then he was like, "Well, I'm looking for a native graphic designer." Then I was like, "Yo, what up? I do graphic design." And we just talked like that.
Yeah.
Never met him. Everything.
Uh-huh.
Then we started talking on over Facebook and
Uh-huh.
realized so many similarities, and we just became like Facebook pen pals basically. We got like he's like I consider him like my native like Arizona brother. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know him, but I got a lot of a love for that dude because we do a lot of the same exact things. And it's crazy to now, like you were saying that I didn't realize
Uh-huh.
who Sean was until I went down there to Phoenix and
Uh-huh.
because I played at Glover's party 2 years ago, her birthday party
Uh-huh.
at what was it called? That the one off a mill in downtown Phoenix,
Oh.
Aurora.
Yeah, okay. Uh-huh.
So and I didn't get. I was like, "Oh, this Sean. Damn, this is." After meeting
Was
him,
that
I'm,
one that was it what that one the Alice Wonderland
yeah,
thing there?
yeah, I
Okay.
did the artwork for that one actually too.
That was probably one of the first events out here I went to. That one 2 years ago. 2 years ago, right? It's been more than 2 years, I think. But I didn't know Sean
Was
at
it
the time. Yeah, I think it's been 2 years. I didn't met Sean at that one. I met Sean C, Sean Liberty for those folks who are watching here.
Sean?
Sean C, what's up, brother? He's gonna say we prop you up. Yeah, I didn't meet him there, but I remember he was playing. He was playing Bubble Room in Scottsdale because Moorebase was sponsoring that show. That's how I actually met him. Was that and we just hung out, and just messaged each other, hey, what's up and stuff. And that's how. And that's how we became friends. We were just always messaging each other the whole time too. It's funny.
Yeah, we're nerds.
So, but within the community itself, at least my experience out here, it's coming from L.A., Orange County, and stuff, right? It's it's kind of like, but and everyone's I've not yet met any person that's ever put me off here, right? And that's amazing considering the number of people I've met. I mean, I know every town, every scene always has their bad seeds and all that stuff, but for the most part, from my experience here in the Arizona scene, it's been great. I mean, I've been I've been down to Tucson too, hung out with folks down there too, and it's like everyone's just always been chill out here. It's for me, it's been refreshing coming from California to have a community so as tight as it is out here. I've hung out with people in Vegas too, and Vegas is kind of weird itself. I mean, it's Vegas, but But it's been, at least for me, experience out here in the scene out here. It's been a great experience out here. And as much as that too, I always want to try to give back to the scene out here as well as much as I can.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back down to you guys down there. I loved it. First time I got to go down there and play shows for what's his Thamio
Okay.
from Hades.
Okay.
I guess I did the Dirty Bird Flyer, or not the Dirty Disco Flyer, like 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And so he brought me down to play for the pre-party, and I had a blast that time. But
Uh-huh.
every time I go, there's so much love down there. It's to the point where I'm like, I want to say, love you guys in Albuquerque, but Phoenix does it a little bit better.
So props up
I
to the
think
AZ scene. But
I give credit to having your population so much bigger. Once you have that bigger population, it's easier for certain things to thrive
yeah.
easier, as opposed to we're at least a third the size of you guys, including
Yeah.
metropolitan area. So
Yeah.
when things get clicky here, it stays clicky.
Yeah.
Out there, it's so much to get converts because you got more people moving to Phoenix than
Yeah.
you got to moving to Albuquerque.
That's true.
But I just like the fact that you guys have so much. There's so much square acreage of where you can be throwing parties.
Mhm.
And there's so many people, you can have multiple parties on the same night, and you're not date stomping anybody.
Yeah, and it's crazy, especially in, I think, in the last 2.5 years or so, how much it's blown up. At, like, before, you maybe have 2-3 events over a weekend, right? Now it's like one night you have 3 or 4 at night on a Friday night, then you have like 2 or 3 daytime things during the day on Saturday, then another 5 things at night and stuff. And that's just like the local scene. That's not including anything larger, into the larger venues that are like a Rawhide or anything else. I mean, there is just constantly something going on, and in different flavors to what someone wants, right? You can go down middle for one flavor. You could go down to downtown, different flavor. You go to Scottsdale is a different flavor. So I mean, it's a lot of things that happen, plus also a lot of different things. So it depends. It's really what your choice, what your taste for the day is, or for that night.
I got lucky enough to meet a lot of some of the good players in your underground local scene, like Robert out there with Techno Snaps. I got to meet him when I went out there for Glover's show, and I get to see what Sean does, and doing Sean's stuff, all his logos, like all his flyers. I get to see all the players that he works with, so I add them.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm a part of the team, but I don't get to go out. But I see literally what you're talking about. There's different flavors all week long.
Yeah.
I mean, Sean out, he has Mondays. For a while, he had Monday, Thursday, then Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Fridays and Saturdays. And that's just Sean. Seeing Robert over at Techno Stops, they were doing little things here. But now they're doing the bigger things now, like being in Shady Park. Like I'm not, but I get to see everybody there grow. Pretty awesome. That's why I'm saying I want to go see that. I still haven't been to Shady Grove.
Uh-huh.
But we'll go there sometime soon.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of it because that's fun. It's dope to me. So if my music progression goes and I keep getting tracks signed, I'm going to get a manager and I will be in your local city sometime.
No, man, it's folks out there outside New Mexico, outside Arizona. You guys got to check out Swift Money, man. He's got some bomb ass shit. I'll tell you that. I mean, we were playing that right before we started here and stuff. I know we on the radio station too, and on the Extreme radio station. I think I have your set mixed in because we do now every day 1 to 3, right? So we mix it up and everything else. So we try to focus on locals and stuff. I mean, even though you're New Mexico, I consider you an Arizona local. You're born here, so you're born and grew up here.
My life was in Arizona.
Yeah. So
Flagstaff. That was. What's funny is now that as a kid, I loved Flagstaff because I played in the mountains and the trees. All over San Francisco peaks, all the mountains and everything. I used to ride my bike. Mm-hmm. Now I'm older and I haven't been back there. I went back there and I'm like, man, this is not the Flagstaff I remembered. Because like people are like they have that big city mentality, small town.
Yeah.
They're kind of rude. I thought they were rude. I mean,
it's like not to make fun of the areas, like Scottsdale moved to Flagstaff. But I mean, it's like it's in People,
That makes sense.
yeah, you know, and they probably blame the California people, probably.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I'm from Cali, so I'm from Cali, so you know, if people could say something the way people from California are, yeah, it's true, they are. That's what trips people. That's what trips people out. That when they do find out I'm from California, it's like, well, you're not like a California person. I'm like, what are you trying to say? You know, I mean, I know the stereotypes. So no, man, you're cool. I'm like, well, I just be me. I mean, I don't try to force it. It's just me. Not everyone's that way. I mean, there are some. Yeah,
you're thinking in your head, California people have you met like that? Jeez.
Yeah, right. It's
California
like,
bad.
You know how the stereotype out here. You know, people in Arizona. Oh God, California people are coming in by the droves. I'm like, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what we get that. We have that out here. Like, yeah, I'm from Chicago or from New York, but you're like, well, you're in Albuquerque. You better come correct for. That's how probably.
Right.
Well, you judging by how you are, you don't get that as much, but yeah, it's like you're from California. Well, you're here.
Right. Yeah.
You're Mexican now.
Right.
Eat some green chili.
You're in the Southwest. But yeah, and it's funny because I have the neighbor this side is from California, that side is from California, that corner is from California. Oh, wow, really? Where I live, right? That one's those folks that are older folks are from like Texas. The only ones that are really native to Arizona, my neighbors on this side of my house and stuff. But you know, everyone's cool and stuff. You like my neighbors. We go out there. It's funny with the quarantine or social distancing. A couple of weeks ago, it was my wife's birthday. We're all hanging out on the driveway outside our house, but we have our chairs 6 feet apart from each other. Instead of sharing our booze with each other, we had our own booze, our own stash of booze as we sat there.
Ice chest.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, out here we have these things called parks where we set up day parties in our parks, but I'm like, if we ever go back to that, that's probably what we're gonna have to do. Everyone, a group of 5, 6 feet apart.
Right. Everyone's gonna be the little pockets throughout the park and stuff, or the beaches and all that stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be strange when things get a little bit lighter and stuff and see what happens. I mean, I'm telling folks, it's gonna be strange, but I think
my buddy got a permit for the end of January for those, so or June. Sorry. June. Supposedly, we can do some stuff like that. That's why I was saying I'm scared about Kyle Watson thing in July. Gonna push it back. They're giving out permits. What's really
all right? Yeah, the city permits and everything else. See what happens. Oh man. Well, hopefully, hopefully in due time.
I don't want to live stream until 2021. Oh man.
Right.
My skills might be pretty damn good when it comes to turntablism by then, though.
Right.
So you better watch out. You button pushers out there. You better watch out. Turntablists are coming back.
Here we go.
2021.
2020. Return to the vinyl. Yeah, I absolutely. I want to get a set of turntables. I know I absolutely suck in vinyl. I was at my buddy's house in LA a couple months or 2 months ago. And he's an old school hip hop DJ, right? He went to college in Berkeley. He ran little clubs down in Oakland and all that stuff. Yeah. And I made him take out. His girlfriend was like, "He's never spin for me." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Come on, man, take this stuff out. Show your girl some skills, right?" But I'm trying it. I was like, "Man, I absolutely suck on vinyl." I was like, "I want to go buy it." Yeah, it's the skill sets. I mean, again, respect to anyone can spin vinyl. It's like it's completely different, and yeah, I just haven't gotten around to buy some turntables and start messing with it because I want to. It's fun to learn that other skill sets.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah,
because I rock a tractor setup now, but I do like to take out like 10, 15 records and just have at it because I have older stuff, but it's still nice to get that play by ear.
Yeah.
Fast, like you will on CDs.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can throw that track on, and your next track is like 1-2 beat per minute. It's close to it. It's close to you to throw it on and play it on it right away. Because I do a lot of fast mix. I do fast mixing, but I do like 1.5 minute to 2 minute mixes
Uh-huh.
of both tracks
Uh-huh.
in and out effectively with the EQ. So you
Yeah.
can't really tell. It's just mash, just
Yeah.
break little parts. Michael now is doing that with vinyl,
Oh yeah.
just as, and it's helping me like with my scratching and things right away in my ear. I know when something, I can tell when it's off just a little bit. Like not knocking a lot of digital DJs now. It's just I feel like so many just rely on locking it on 1.8 and the other one, or 1.6 and the other one plus 1.6, and you're okay.
Uh-huh.
With like with the technical aspects, if you're off just that tiny little bit,
Oh,
it's gonna
you hear
run away
it.
from
You can't get away with it. You hear it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and there's if you want to challenge yourself, you don't do it with the pitch lock. So
uh-huh.
if you're messing up and you're trying to speed it up, you're gonna do trying to when you speed it up,
Right.
you can hear like like the synth, you can hear the synth change pitch up every time you're touching the vinyl.
Yeah.
Those little minute things that you really don't get with digital.
Yeah.
Just I think every city should implement a school for DJs that's only vinyl,
Right.
just so that all the digital DJs will learn to play by ear and to play by touch,
Yeah.
no finesse,
Yeah.
and to not count and not rely so heavily on your heads-up display on your Pioneer 2000 Xs2
Mm-hmm.
and your 9Xs, where it's all there for you. I mean, that's like me relying totally on Tractor to mix for me. Yeah, I do, but in the essence, but I'd still treat my Tractor like it's vinyl.
Uh-huh.
It's just all I'm doing is play records, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that core, there's a little core essence that I feel people need to learn from vinyl to fully appreciate
The
the
artistry.
transition and the
Yeah.
growth of deep now, and why Ableton does have its place as live performance DJing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Queuing, I mean, auto sync can have a place. Burn me at the stake. What's the freak? I already forgot it. See, I don't even use it this much, but sync
Sync the
can
sync
have
match.
a place
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
in DJ if you use other things with it.
Yeah.
If you're playing 4 decks, mashing in samples and loops, and have a sampler and a whole rig there, there is a place for it.
Yeah.
But not if you're running 2 decks.
Yeah.
Don't be lazy.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about, showing the growth of where it came from
Yeah.
to where it's at now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'll learn so much more. I mean, I have so much respect. I mean, I have a machine over here that I've been trying to use with Tractor for such a long time, but I run my own business, I got kids, I DJ, I produce,
Yeah.
projection mapping on the side. Like, I have no time to sit there and nerd out on my machine and Tractor and try to do a DJ craze routine.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to. I probably will with this quarantine. I'll probably learn how to use my machine, and might not be as good as DJ Craze or DJ Qbert, but
Uh-huh.
I'll get good enough to use my machine the way I wanted to.
So
But
the
yeah,
lesson,
just that progression.
so the lesson for the kids out there is like take this time and learn a new skill.
Really learn how to use your decks. Play without. Here's one. Play with your laptop covered. Cover your beat per minute counter. That's how you can learn to play on vinyl. Put it on scratch mode. Cover
Uh-huh.
your beat per minute counters on your CDJs, on your Serato, on Tractor, whatever device you're using. Cover the beat per minute counter. Let's see how good you are. That should be a new challenge. I get my mix covering my BPM count.
So we got everyone out here watching the show is that we got the Swift Money Challenge. Cover your BPM indicator.
Let's see what happens. I want to see, because I remember like the Ultra I had like 10 years ago. My buddy, back when there was 1000s and 800s,
Uh
he literally had that covered on his CDJs. Whenever you go to play with them,
huh.
all you could see was the name of the track and the pitch indicator telling you how much plus minus you are.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't let any of us look at our bin power. I thought that was actually pretty ingenious because it got faster
Yeah.
at loading tracks by ear.
Uh huh.
But I mean, quarantine, come on, guys, let's get better. Better.
Pick up the
Have 5
skills.
seconds to drop the next track.
Called the Swift Money Challenge.
I don't want to hear your outros of your tracks. If you're playing a 6-minute song, don't play 6 minutes of the song. I'm just kidding.
No, we're just messing.
I'm
We're just messing with y'all. You know, everyone, all respected folks and stuff. But anyways, opportunity to pick up a new skill. So, anyways, moving on to some other questions here. I gotta make sure I check off my little checklist here. So first, I know you told me already, but obviously, the audience haven't heard this one. First CD cassette album you bought.
it was a tape. I'm that old, but I'm still that young. Yes, was I don't know if you guys know, but there's a dude named Domino, is a West Coast rapper, and I got it because of a song named Sweet Potato Pie. That was my first tape. That was right before they started making you put parental advisories on tapes, and you could only be 18 to buy a tape. Remember when that all started?
Oh my
happening?
gosh, yeah.
I was 16 and I bought my first tape with the parental advisory on it, but it was before you had to be 18. But then after that is when I was mentioned to you earlier. That's when I got into the music club, the CD club things, and
the
that's
BMG club
and Ribbon, all the BMG and Columbia House music. That's when I started getting my hip hop CDs because they weren't. That was when they started carding, but they weren't carding and making sure you're an adult. So I was buying 15 CDs for a penny.
Oh my gosh!
That were all.
I have from all that BMG stuff. That's pretty much the majority of all my CDs. I mean, they're all sitting in a room in the garage and stuff. But I mean, I have, like, again, hoarding. I have all these totes of CDs.
Damn.
So
I lost.
I lost a bunch of them too. I had a whole case of CDs. My car got broken into and stuff, and they took all my CDs and stuff, and I was like, oh man. And I had it was gonna remember those mini discs. You remember for a short period of time Sony had those mini discs. So I had a mini disc player inside my armrest and stuff. So I had a no mini disc player in there and stuff. Then I had all my CDs, just probably like a thing about that thick of CDs, right?
Yeah, books.
Right, books of it and stuff. And you're driving, you gotta hurry up. Oh, CD's over. Let me switch one away. I didn't have a regular CD changer, but let me switch it out and stuff. See, the struggles people don't understand nowadays.
You gotta wait for that red light to change your CD.
You're right. You just go, okay, just plug it in and start next.
Yeah, so, these kids will never understand that anymore.
I remember with my kids, my oldest one now, who's gonna be 12. The first time she discovered an LP, she was absolutely fascinated by the fact that seeing an LP. She says, "Whoa, these things are like history." I'm like, "Yes, they are."
Yeah. Well, I think my kids didn't, before they could talk, they knew what they were. Mm-hmm. I mean, because we had turntables in the living room. Like, since me and my wife were together, I had turntables and vinyl since before my baby was born. Because I went back to that before it was CDJs and controllers and stuff. But
yeah.
My kids have always been around records, but I do wonder, like, what kids think about that songs are on a 12-inch piece of vinyl and you got to put it on something and put a needle on it to make noise.
Yeah, my youngest one has tripped. She's gonna be 9 now, but I think when she was like 3 or 4, when she first time saw me take out a record player and put a vinyl on there, she was like, "Whoa, that's like a black CD," is what she called it. Yeah, she wanted to do this too. I was like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
See, but they do
Wrong
it.
needle.
No, this is like you don't do it to this kind of not this right. This is not the right equipment either to do it on. But she'll come into my set and stuff and actually want to do the effects and stuff. She'll do the filters and stuff. So she'll start messing around with it. I think that one's gonna probably want to learn. My oldest one, I don't think she wants to learn how to DJ, but I think my youngest one will one day want to figure it out. Her hook right now is piano lessons.
Oh, I need to get out my kids on that because right now they have their own laptops and they have a controller. They're 6 and 7, but they play once in a while. But you can tell they get frustrated because it's so much to try to learn. But I do have them learning with sync on, but
at least
they will learn.
Yeah, teach your kids.
They're so I told them mandatory hour a day in with their schoolwork coming up soon. Again, I have to learn.
So lesson number 2. First lesson, learn a new skill. Lesson 2, if you got kids, teach your kids a skill.
Yeah, teach them a skill. They'll get out of your hair for at least an hour a day. I got 2 of them, so I'm going to teach one how to produce and one how to DJ. And I won't even have to talk to them for like 2 hours.
Right, and they'd be just on the computer like this. Click, click.
Yeah.
That's how my oldest one. She's learning how to do modeling right now. She plays that Roblox game. So she discovered, because I always heard her, it's like you're a good artist. It's like what you try to coordinate how to model a thing. So she kind of sketched out like literally she made her own little CAD like design of not on a CAD, but she did her own sketch of the layout and everything else, and she's transmitting that into the Roblox editors to create a game or create a scene.
Oh yeah, nice.
So and I told her that's what you call modeling. It's really it's like animation, cartoons, commercials, stop capture. You're modeling a scene. For video games, this is just I said yeah. So then she discovered. I know this is probably such off topic here. It's tangent going here, but she's figured out how to do the reflection of light going through a window and seeing the dust particles.
Yeah.
Right. She was happy about. Like, hey, Dad, check this out. I can make the dust particles look like from the sunlight through a window. I'm like, oh, I never thought you could do that on that game, but that's kind of cool. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. So
gotta get her into coding.
Get her into coding and then teach the other one to DJ.
Yeah. I'm saying you get her into coding. She'll be making all the good money.
Oh yeah, I could retire.
Yeah.
Or I could be a full-time music bum.
Right, that'd be dope.
Where's Dad?
That's a good idea.
He's in the studio. I'm like, he's always there. Like, they say that now already too. Oh.
Where's your dad? I don't know, but the red light's on the door. He's recording. Leave him alone.
That was funny. Before we went on the air too, like she came in, my wife came in, and I was like, I'm about to go on air unless you want to be online. They took off.
That's literally what just happened to me too. My girls walked in and they seen everything and me talking to the computer screen and they just got all quiet. But I got mad at them because my girls like to dance and wave and be in the camera all crazy. And not this one.
There's someone
on my DJ. I let him do it. Not with like getting personal.
That's too funny.
Because all of a sudden you'd probably see a little teddy bear coming out of the corner.
It's going like.
That little girl would just start shaking it. She tried to do it too. I was like,
No, I saw it on the screen.
Did you see it?
Yeah, you gave her that dad look like.
Yep.
What are you doing? What are you doing? That's awesome, though. It's awesome. So just we got a couple more. We got a few questions here before we wrap up. And again, man, I appreciate your time tonight and stuff, man. It's been a great talking with you, and definitely, I'm sure. I hope the folks out here watching get to know you a little bit better, know a little bit more about you. What was your best memory first time you played in front of a crowd?
My first time?
Yeah.
I think it was in 2004 at this we had this warehouse here that was popping huge back then, and I got to play the. My buddy had me come play the ending set with him. It was like 5 to 6, I think. There's still a huge crowd, but that's when I first got the bug of electronic music. 'Cause before then, I was doing a lot of hip hop, spinning at shows here and there, the smaller stuff, doing little things. But that was like my most memorable because we were dropping some dope tracks, and I was probably under the influence of something, but that cultivated in me to like I want it more and more.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first one. Then the second one, that was my first time playing out the big convention center here was for the show called Delicious. And there was like probably 1,000 kids in front of me. And that was one of those reaffirming moments, having these people jumping and dancing, whistling. And out here they say, what, get it, like what they like what this DJ's doing. And when they started doing that during my set, I mean, that gives you that butterflies in your stomach, freaking tingles going through your hair and your head, the goosebumps, that whole feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That was my head. That was like the first pinnacle in that warehouse of why I loved it, and I got to show people.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I was noticed on how much I loved what I do, and got to show more people.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, it started getting bigger. I played at that place a few times.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've played so many headliners. I mean, I get to play headliners that I look up to.
Yeah,
and those always
stuff.
Because I get to open with what I love to play because it correlates to what they like to play. And there's always something special I feel about you getting booked for somebody that you like because you get to be you, as opposed to getting booked for somebody you might play for. You have to play a sound that you feel fits the opening set because there's an art.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Opening. You know how to be an opening DJ. There's an art. Once you learn it, you'll get booked more.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get to open up for somebody you look up to, that's another reassuring moment because I got to open up for Chris Lake like a year and a half ago, and it was actually me and my wife, we tag team for it, but we knew Chris Lake, he was doing more like UK garage type bass lines and two-step. So we opened up with the UK garage, UK house set. And my buddy played after us, and he plays that stuff. So he played what Chris Lake plays now or at that time.
Yeah.
But to see Chris Lake play a set, he said he hadn't played in years because we opened up with that sound. I think that was another memorable too, playing for that one because we got to influence what the headliner played heavily. So he played a UK bassline set that was freaking remarkable, and it was probably for like 400 people, but that one was dope just because we got to play what we wanted to play.
You guys set the vibe.
Yeah, we set the vibe, and he played exactly the set we want. Because I don't know about how many of you guys go out there, you go through your favorite headliner, you think he's going to play the style of tracks that you love, and it's nothing near what you expect. This is one of those times where it was exactly what we wanted and exactly what we expected.
Your dream came true.
Like there's times like I went to EDC once, and I went to go see all the stage light. I got to see a lot of the people I wanted to see, but they didn't play the style that I'm used to hearing them play. They played the EDC festival set. Yeah, which is kind of let down, but
no, it's.
But yeah, those are my two for sure.
Awesome.
The other one was the foam, the CO2 cannon, the huge screen, gigantic stage with a line array setup. Like it was a multi-million-dollar stage. Yeah. But it was. I picked those two because I went from my first time playing. My first time playing was the all vinyl set because back then I wasn't comfortable on CDJs. I was vinyl back then. Yeah. Being able to play a huge stage like that where nobody's around you at a huge ass stage, you play as loud as you want, and it's awesome the journey I've taken from being a bedroom turntablist. Because when I first bought turntables when I was 17, I didn't want to rock parties. I didn't want to be a party rocker. I wasn't worried about mixtapes. I just wanted to be juggle and scratch. That was it. And I just wanted to rhyme. Like literally, I spent late nights practice scratching. After that, the instrumentals I had, I'd sit there and just freestyle all night long. But then under the influence of something is when I found the love for electronic music. I'm glad for that night because I like electronic music more than I like hip hop. I like the foundations of underground hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
but I like where the journey and the expansion of electronic music has went. Even though I don't like some of the avenues it went into,
Mm-hmm.
I respect the fact of where they are, and where they came from, and what purpose they had to drive the EDM
Scene.
scene.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Because
Good stuff.
can't have good with the yin and the yang. Can't have good without bad.
Yeah, definitely. So before we wrap up here and stuff, what be some of the things? I mean, obviously you got your EP coming out. When exactly? When does the EP actually drop?
I it was supposed to be the 20th, but I got a message from the label owner. It went on sale officially today on Track Source exclusively. So you can get the track, you can get the EP now, but on other platforms it officially drops on the 5th next month or the 4th of next month.
So the
April
fourth of
4th.
next month. So for the folks here, the one who've been watching the video, on the video and stuff at the end, we'll go ahead and put the track source link in the description of the video. So you guys, if you guys want to get on it right away, I suggest you guys do. Click on that link and stuff. Download Swift Money's EP that's out. There's 3 tracks, right?
Yeah. So 2 are mine and 1 is the remix from the label owner.
Yeah. So make sure you guys check that out. I've listened to it. It's a dope set of songs. Definitely. And he sung on it, so don't forget, it was his voice.
Yeah, it's me on the main track. How many people you got? How many people you got watching right now?
You know, it's come and go. I can't see. I got active. Well, I got some on Twitch, so I actively got 2 on Twitch. So I think most of the time people watch it post production. So
if you want to do a pop quiz or do something,
yeah,
I'll give 3 shirts.
So pop quiz. See if anyone's listening, anyone watching, going once, going twice. Let's check the chat rooms. I don't see anyone that one. Let's check the other ones.
Well, if anything, if you want to do a contest or something on your end,
yeah, we could do that.
I'll give 3 of these away.
All right, so we got 3 shirts, Swift Money shirts and stuff. What we want to do, this is what we'll do. If you download his track, send us a picture. You tag me, you tag Swift Money on that. You first 3 who do that gets a free shirt.
Yeah, I'll cover the shipping and everything.
So you make sure you guys do that. Download again. We'll click on the link. First 3 people to post your receipt that you download the track gets a free T-shirt. So no one complain about getting stuff for free. I don't.
Right.
All right, Adrian, Swift Money.
You'll get a shirt.
Thank you. You get a shirt. You get a shirt. You get a shirt. I feel like Roper.
You right?
You'll get a shirt there.
I freaking monitor. You get a shirt.
Well, Adrian, I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. It's been a pleasure talking with you. For that, again, folks, Swift Money, check him out. I'll set up all the socials on the video at the end and stuff. Make sure you check him out. Ask for him in your town. So outside of the New Mexico or Arizona area, ask him throughout the rest of the country and stuff. He'll be there. Plays a bomb ass set. So you know what you guys want. Appreciate it, brother. Peace out.
Right, later.
You have a good night.